this is nothing better than being up here.
Nah, man.
Welcome to the making of a pilot. In this series of videos, we follow Jonathan as he pursues his private pilot certificate. You'll see his journey from start to finish with all the ups.
And this is nothing better than being up here.
Nah, man.
And all the downs.
It's the altitude, I can't get it.
As we work together to help him achieve his dream.
There we go, just like that.
My name is Lewis, Jonathan's instructor, and your guide throughout this series. Not only will you see Jonathan's progression, but you'll see how my philosophy of making aviation fun is a game changer in helping students succeed.
Nice with the rudder. Yes!
Whether you're in flight training or you're a pilot in need of a refresher, this series of videos is for you. So don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the making of a pilot. LewDix Aviation videos are edited to be as entertaining as possible. This may remove context. Many procedures, situations, explanations, and flight phases have been edited out. Do not use for instructional purposes. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This episode is sponsored by Airport Tag. Now, if you don't know who Airport Tag are, it's a website that has what seems like thousands of aviation-themed products for pilots like you and I, or if you've got pilot friends, or you just want some cool aviation-themed gifts, products. I've been sent various different products from Airport Tag, one being this t-shirt, Born to Fly, another one being World's Okayest Pilot. I was on the website when I was speaking back and forth to them, and I was going through all the different t-shirt options and clothing options that they've got, and it's a ridiculous amount of clothing options that they have with cool little things on there to show that you are a pilot and that you love to fly. Now, it's not only that. Look behind me. You've got this cushion, which is a personalised kind of travel bag tag from the airport, which says MCO on it, which is I live in Orlando, so they personalised that for me and sent me an MCO one. And also this one as well, which is ISM, which is the airport identifier for Kissimmee Airport, where I do a lot of my instructing from these days, which is really, really cool. I didn't actually request these. The only things I requested was the shirts and a backpack, which I was in desperate need of a backpack. And this is the one that I chose. Flight recorder, do not open. Really, really pretty cool. There's not a lot of places out there that do like quality products for we aviation folks. And I've found them in Airport Tag. You can personalize a lot of the things on the website as well. There's a section on the website for personalization. And it's perfect to buy something for yourself or a pilot friend. And especially with Christmas coming up, it's the perfect time to get those aviation themed gifts. Just go to the website and use the link in my description. That's my own personal link. It's airporttag.com/LewDix. And not only that, you can save yourself 10% when you use my discount code LewDix for anything on the website. So go on there, put in the discount code LewDix, you save yourself 10%. It's brilliant. We begin our series already having completed a discovery flight. That flight video is exclusively available for Patreon supporters.
It popped, we reset it, it came back on, and it's gone back off again.
Yeah, no, I know you.
Yeah, like, it's better to err on the side of caution. Exactly, it is.
Absolutely.
So if you want to gain access to exclusive perks and content, go to the link in my description to support my channel. Making this series is made possible by my supporters. Jonathan's first test of the series is radio communication, something that strikes the fear into the heart of fledgling student pilots everywhere. But Jonathan has done a lot of studying at home, and he's used my radio communication guide to help him understand what to say.
Once you're holding short of the runway, that's what you want to tell him. You'd say, Kissimmee Tower, Skyhawk 670 Mike Alpha, holding short runway 15,
Okay.
ready for departure.
What's the bases on that?
And then of course give yourself good space between you and the hold short line, just so we don't accidentally roll over it, cause a runway incursion.
Alright, pre-takeoff. Flaps? We don't do anything, we're going to leave them
No,
on there.
the normal is zero flaps,
okay.
yeah.
Normal 0 flaps, got it. Mixture is rich. Landing strobe lights coming on. Okay, transponder, we're set. Doors, windows closed.
My door and window is closed, get yours closed.
Alright.
Perfect. Okay, next checklist is going to be at 1,000 feet. Okay,
Okay, 1,000 feet. Yep.
exactly, it's really easy.
Flaps retract, which we don't have them on anyways.
Yep.
Engine. Gonna check our instruments real quick.
Yep.
And then get to our VY79.
There you go.
Kissimmee Tower, November 670, Mike Alpha, holding short of 15, ready for departure.
There, Mike Alpha, Semi Tower, hold short, runway 15 for arriving traffic.
Holding short 15.
Tower Archer 436.
Just whenever you make that call back, make sure you give your tail number with it every single time. We would have seen that guy if we didn't have a wing in the way, but whatever.
Of course, there will be some Cessna slander in this series.
So of course, you get on the runway, centre line, heels to the floor, full power, nice rudder control to maintain the centre line, no brakes. No brakes. 55, nice little pullback, and then aim for 79. You'll be cool.
Alpha Kilo, Semi Tower, Roger. 670 Mike Alpha, right turn out southwestbound, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15670, Mike Alpha, thank you.
Perfect, man. Let's do it.
Now, today's lesson is focused around the fundamental skills needed to fly an aircraft. Part of that is climbing, turning, descending, all things that Jonathan showed me he can do on his discovery flight. We're taking that a step further today and working on ground reference manoeuvres. They are relatively simple manoeuvres, but crucial for a student pilot to master. We'll dive deeper into these in this episode.
15 on the ground there, and we're coming around to 1 here. Heels to the floor, full power. Looking for 55.
Semi Tower 6495, call report of midfield.
Okay, that radio was coming in very garbled. 6495 Golf, make a
There's 55 and rotate.
Right 360, 95 Golf. Tower 67 Golf, back to Watsy.
And welcome to the sky. What a beautiful takeoff. Beautiful takeoff. So now what's your VY speed you're looking
for? 79.
79, sounds good.
At 700 feet.
What heading are you going to?
210.
210, cool. Just as you briefed, perfect.
In addition to working on the fundamentals of flying, I want to make sure that Jonathan's creating a habit of referencing his checklist during the various phases of flight. Learning that now will go a long way to making sure that he takes that with him throughout his journey as a pilot.
Number
1,000 feet.
Go man, go man.
Okay, so power to 2,000.
That's the cruise checklist.
Oh,
Bit of
Alright.
climb checklist.
Climb checklist, flaps retracted, engine instruments, and VY.
Perfect, cool.
Climb checklist.
Roger. What altitude are we going to?
1,500.
1,500. What altitude are we at now?
We're at almost 17.
Perfect. Push the nose over, pull the power to about 2,100 or so. You see it's still climbing.
Now we're going to go down.
Got to set that nose, exactly. Set that nose and trim for it. And then once you're stable, because this is going to be our cruise altitude, basically, you can go through the cruise checklist.
I'll lose some altitude here.
Sounds good. Yeah, checklist is after you're stable. You know, you stabilize, get everything set, and then you go to your checklist.
We're 300 feet above our target altitude, and the footage is sped up because it took Jonathan 1 minute and 10 seconds to get back to 1,500 feet. That's not a slight on Jonathan, rather an example of how timid new students are on the controls at first, and it'll be very interesting to see his control of the aircraft progress in this series. If there's one thing that I can offer from this part, it's to never be content with flying out of the parameters that you set. If you want to fly at a certain altitude, never accept any deviations from it. Having discipline is crucial to being a good pilot.
Alright, we're stable, cruise checklist. Power to 2,000, we're set there. Trim as required. Landing light, taxi light off. So land and taxi off.
Right, heading
Flight instruments
170, 15, clear for takeoff.
Mixture is lean. Go back a little bit.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15,
If you want to fine tune it, you can kind of
Okay.
feel like that.
And we're just watching, making sure we stay in the green. Or we stay where we want to be, like 2,100 or...
The leaning procedure, if you lean it back a little bit, what you're going to see is that the RPM start to drop a little bit as you lean it further back.
Yeah.
Once you see that RPM drop right there, you're just enriching it just a little bit, and then that's your perfect lean.
And flight instruments, we're going to check on that.
Exactly.
Right there. Nice and bumpy.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We're doing it, we're stable, we're, well, kind of bumps, but 1,500 feet. Let's maintain that. You're doing it, brother.
Oh.
Nice takeoff, a nice departure out of Kissimmee. Just remind me again what maneuvering speed is.
Maneuvering speed is 99.
99, okay, so we're already below it, right? We're already at 90 knots.
Right.
You see that this 2,000 RPM at 1,500 feet is holding it.
Yep.
What we'll do, once we're on the west side of Lake Marion, you can look for a point that you would like to use as far as turns around a point, and also go through the pre-maneuver checklist.
Okay.
Before every single maneuver that you do, you'll just go through that checklist. And even on the check ride, like you go every single time he says, okay, we're doing slow flight, do the checklist. We're doing stalls, do the checklist. You know that you'll have everything done because you'll be doing things back to back, but you always do it, always do it. Also, because he didn't give us a frequency change, but we're outside of his airspace.
Okay.
So you can switch over to the practice area frequency 123.5. Perfect. So now we're listening to everybody in the area. And then when you're making a call, you start it with, the name of the place and end it with the name of the place.
Correct.
So just start it with that, end it with that, and in the middle just put in exactly what you're doing and what altitude you are. Altitude-wise, I'm looking to keep it within 100 feet. What we're looking for. You're doing exactly the right thing now, getting away from these little wispy things.
Our first ground reference manoeuvre is going to be turns around a point. This means that Jonathan will pick a prominent landmark that's easy to identify throughout the manoeuvre and do one 360-degree turn around it. He must enter on the downwind leg and know where the wind is coming from throughout the whole manoeuvre in order to vary the bank angle accordingly. For example, when on the downwind side of the point, we have a tailwind which wants to push us away from the point. This will require a higher bank angle to stop this from happening. On the upwind side, when we have a headwind, if we steepen the bank too much during the turn, we risk being pushed towards the ground reference and ultimately failing the manoeuvre.
Alright, so I am looking outside, I am looking for a point to start.
Okay.
The winds were 200, so they're actually coming from over here.
Okay.
Or actually coming from this way here.
From that direction,
Yep,
right?
From that direction. So we want to come in over here on this side.
Love it. Now, while you're doing that, just to get ahead of the game, you could go through that pre-maneuver checklist. Because that's going to take us left and right for the clearing turns, and then as you're coming right, you can swing it around and get on the downwind heading.
Alright, pre-maneuver checking checklist. Mixture is going rich. Okay, landing light on. Fuel selectors on both. Minimum safe altitude. We are safe at the moment.
Yes, sir. So obviously 1,000 feet, between 600 and 1,000 feet for this maneuver.
Okay.
But we'll do 1,000.
Alright, clearing turns. Alright, we're going to go 90 to the left.
Perfect. How's your trim? Is it pretty well trimmed?
Going down.
A little bit down.
Spin box 8 southeast of Massey, spin.
Okay, clear going right.
And then as you're doing the right turn, you can drop it down to 1,000 feet.
Alright, so clearing turns are complete. I don't see anybody in the area. Alright, cool. So let me get down to altitude. So I am going to use the, it's probably too far away. There's like that little round thing that's way out there.
The like the silo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I was going to use that.
I love it. So what's your downwind heading? What are you going to go to?
I'm going to go to a 030.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Okay. Coming in on 1,000 feet.
Nice back to us, 475, Echo Romeo 7509 south.
As you can level off, that's going to bleed off.
Yep.
So, big golden. Alright, man.
Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make our turn now. And since we have the wind coming this way, we're going to keep it.
Just head on a swivel as well, just that altitude is going to start dropping, so keep that nose pitched up a little bit for the bank. So the wind is behind us, right? So this is going to be your steepest turn. Great job, nice. Head on a swivel, you're below manoeuvring speed, you're 1,000 feet, it's glorious.
So now we got the wind pushing us from the front.
You can feel it and see it.
Oh yeah.
Kind of change, right?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. You're maintaining 1,000 feet. You're doing a really nice job. Your head's on a swivel. You've relieved some of the bank angle, but it's just whatever you need, really. You know.
Right.
You know, when we say steep turn, our mind immediately goes to like 45 degrees, but it's not
Right.
that. It's
Not
just
that.
It's steeper than the rest of the turns and then shallower than the rest of the turns depending on what side you're on. Beautiful, just check that altitude very quickly, just slightly low. Maintaining coordination, just check that ball as well. There you go. Do you feel the same distance?
No, I got closer.
Got a little bit closer, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can afford to shallow up that turn a little bit. There you go.
030.
And then looking at this, you're at 1,000 feet, you're at the entry airspeed, and you're exiting the manoeuvre.
That was awesome.
That's brilliant, brother.
That was a lot of fun.
That is brilliant. I'll tell you what, swing me, well, there's a tower there, yeah. Swing me back towards the south of it, we'll re-enter for that same point, and we'll do that again.
Okay.
Just to clean up that other side of the turn, because on the upwind side of the turn, you got just a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah, I was feeling that, yeah.
Exactly. But, hey, man, for the first time doing that, do you know what airspace we're in?
Right now, below 1200, we are Class G.
Class G, we are Class G. Absolutely. So in Class G, during the daytime, it's just as far as cloud clearances and visibility.
1 mile, clear clouds.
This guy! Nice.
And this is nothing better than being up here.
Nah, man.
Just no worries.
Yeah, 100%. It takes you away from everything. Even when you I'm not saying this is really stressful, but you've just started up, taxied, taken off, doing turns around a point, doing ground reference maneuvers all on your own. I know it's like taxing on the brain a little bit, but you're out here just enjoying it,
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing better than this, man.
I love this shit, man. We're a little close to it, but... Alright, here we go.
However close you start to it, that's the distance you're going to maintain the whole way around.
Okay.
Double check that altitude,
Yep, I see it.
100 feet. Sure, whatever you can do to get that back, add the power, pull the nose up. Don't just let it settle at 100 feet low and kind of leave it. Make sure you're fighting to get it back.
Master practice area, blue sky on November 815 Echo Romeo. We're 3 south of Massey, 4,800 feet. C-turn, wind.
Perfect, man. Perfect. You've maintained the exact same distance around it, same radius.
Inspector is Gate 19 Echo Romeo is south.
Exactly the same point.
North of Mallet.
There you go, man.
Below the Bravo.
There you go, brother. Just a little bit on the altitude control.
Yeah.
Just a little bit,
down
exactly.
there.
And it's just about scanning back in, back out, back in, back out. And then when you see, the only person that's going to affect the change in this thing is you. If you see something is off, have the discipline to
do it.
To do it, exactly. Don't
Fix it right away. Yep.
don't be content with it being off from where you want it.
Right.
That's where complacency comes in, and that's where things happen. So,
We switch points, we get 12:30.
all right, next one we're going to do is S turns across a road. So you can take us back down towards that way, and then bring us back up to find a road.
For S turns across a road, Jonathan will pick a road that is perpendicular to the wind and long enough to use for 2 180-degree turns, one to the left and one to the right. Much like turns around a point, you have to vary the bank angle during each of the turns for the wind. For example, when entering on the downwind heading with a tailwind, the first half of the first 180-degree turn must have a steeper bank angle to stop the wind from pushing you too far away from the road. In the second half of that turn, you can afford to shallow the bank angle as you turn into the wind, a headwind, in order for the wings to be level as you're crossing the road again. Then you just reverse it for the next turn.
But I mean, like this kind of road here, where it's
Right.
it's not perfect, like 'cause it changes like width and whatever, but you can clearly see the line.
You can clearly see it.
Yeah. So if you go that way and then pull it back, and we'll do a left turn first and then a right turn. So you need to position yourself a little bit further that way when you turn back around. And then once your wings level over it, that's when you start your nice turn to the left. And you want to be wings level back over the road after the 180 turn.
Okay.
Perfect. That's
Get off some airspeed.
There you go. Cool. Alright, bang, we're over the road. But this part of the turn is a little bit steeper, which is good because the wind's pushing you from behind. And then as you start to roll into this half of the turn, it's got to shallow up, right? Because the wind...
Little corrections to shallow it up.
Exactly. Altitude.
Altitude too high. Low.
We're still banking, and now we're wings level just before the road.
Just before the road, okay.
So what does that tell you?
I was out too far.
Well,
I didn't steep it up too much.
The way you steepened it was fine. It was just you didn't shallow it up enough on the second half of that first turn. So this turn now is shallower because the wind is trying to push you in.
Correct.
And then you'll steepen it up as you get closer to the road. And beautiful, you're 1,000 feet, glorious.
740, close out, 65.
Now you can see it pushing you in,
Yeah.
so now you can steepen it up a bit and then just time it so your wings level over the road. This one's going to be better, a little bit low, but that's okay, you're within 100. So you're coming in, beautiful, wings level, bang, straight over the road. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Okay.
That right there. Perfect.
A little short there.
Just a hair, but it's fine. So be careful on this one, this doesn't need to be steep. Nice and shallow on this first half of this one. And now it's starting to push you in, you're kind of steepening it up a little bit. There you go, bang, wing level over the road.
That altitude, I can't get it.
It's it's just fluctuating a little bit.
Yeah.
It's you're not playing too much with the power, which is good. It's just a case of as you steepen the turn, you need a little bit more back pressure. As you shallow the turn, you don't need as much, so it's kind of fluctuating with that.
Right.
However, that was an acceptable standard. That was all right. So yeah, cool man. How do you feel with those?
I feel good. I can't wait to do more.
Sweet man. Well, let's head back. This is where the first episode ends on YouTube, but on my Patreon, the flight continues. My supporters at the Welcome to the Sky tier have access right now to exclusive content from this flight, where Jonathan tries his first landing of the series, which didn't start as we would have liked.
Just throwing curveballs right, left and centre.
If you're interested in supporting me and these videos and gaining access to exclusive perks, head to my Patreon page. As always though, I just appreciate you watching this video, liking it if you enjoyed it, and subscribing to LewDix Aviation so you don't miss any other episodes of the making of a pilot. We'll see you next time.